So for this problem, it reads that I have 23 hundreds, 16 tens, and 2 ones. Who am I? This problem is kind of looking at the student's reasoning and number sense involving place value and understanding what each of these terms means numerically. So what I would do first would be to write down what I have or what I know. So we know that there's 23 hundreds, 16 tens, and two ones. So one way that you could probably solve this that would be very good at for kids to visualize would be by using the manipulative blocks, the place value ones with the 100 sheets and the little 10 rods and the one little tiny cubes. But I don't have those, but those would be very good for students that, especially students that are being introduced to this concept, because it's very good for visualization if they cannot really picture these concepts in their heads quite yet. But another way that I would do this would be to draw a picture. And so the hundreds look like the little sheets, and there's usually 10 rows, and 10 columns. But I'm not going to draw these out. I'm going to pretend like I drew 23 of these. Then there's 16 tens, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And then there's two little 1 cubes. So then what I would do after I drew all this out, I would count each of the hundreds, the tens, and the ones, or by hundreds, or by tens, or by ones to see what this number value or numerical value of this number is. So I would count 23 of my hundreds. I would count 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, all the way up until we have 23 hundreds, which is the same thing as 2,300. Then I would come over here and count my tens, which I have 16 of them. So I would have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160. So I have a total of 160 over here, which equals 16 tens. And so I would add this down here, the 160. Then last over here I have 2 ones, which is just 1, 2 if I count it. So I have 2, which I would then add over here. So then once I come and add up all of my hundreds, all of my tens, all of my ones, I come to get, I got 2, 6 in the tens place, 4, and 2. So I have 2,462 as my final answer. And some students may not need to draw all of this out. Some students may use logical reasoning or being able to convert between these different place values in their head, or just by writing the numbers out. Some students may know that 23 hundreds is just 23 and hundreds means 2 zeros. So you just add in 2 zeros at the end. And then they would go to 16 tens, and you have 16, and then 16 tens, or 16 times 10 is just 160. And then lastly, 2 ones is just 2. And they would be able to logically or mathematically reason through this and then add all of them up to get the same answer of 2,462. So those are some possible solutions for this question.